Would you ever forgive yourself if you let the woman you love slip out of your life forever? I'm Brad Browning, and in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to explain how a naturally occurring hormone inside your ex-girlfriend's mind gives you a foolproof way to make her fall deeply in love with you again, even if she completely ignores you now and swore on her life that she'd never get back together with you. Once you learn how easy it is to flood her brain with this intoxicating attraction hormone, you'll be able to rewire her feelings and reignite her passion for you. You'll be able to create a sense of desire so powerful and uncontrollable that it'll send waves of infatuation coursing through her body. She'll be compelled to call you, text you nonstop, and beg to be with you again, thinking it was her idea in the first place. If you accept her apologies and agree to give her another shot, it'll be a matter of minutes before she's back in your bed, ready to commit like she never was before. And this time, you and your girlfriend can get it right from the beginning. This time you can finally feel like a real couple, without the fighting and jealousy that plagued your old relationship. You can build a deep, devoted bond with this girl and make sure this is the last breakup you'll ever have to endure. This might sound impossible to you right now, but I promise that if you follow my advice and do exactly as I say, you'll be amazed at how quickly she becomes obsessed with the idea of being with you again. She'll be fantasizing about being wrapped tightly inside your arms, and she'll be whispering in your ear those words you thought she'd never say again. I miss you, I need you, I can't live without you. Now I have to warn you, you only have a limited window of opportunity to apply what I'm about to teach you. And the sooner you apply my techniques, the better. So pay close attention to this presentation because this might be the most important 10 minutes of your life. As I said earlier, a single naturally occurring hormone is the key to reversing your breakup and making your girlfriend fall head over heels in love with you again. Maybe you've already heard of this hormone before. It's called oxytocin. Oxytocin is the chemical trigger responsible for physical and romantic attraction. It's a biological mechanism that occurs subconsciously in every woman's mind, generating feelings of sexual arousal, emotional bonding, and a desire for romantic commitment. And once you learn how to use just 3 simple techniques to release this hormone, here's what's going to happen. She's going to start dreaming about you all day long, wondering when you're going to text or call her next. She'll find herself wanting you and craving your touch. And the next time she goes on a date with that other guy, the only thing she'll be thinking of is you. She'll be completely powerless to resist these feelings, and she'll fall back in love with you, genuinely convinced that breaking up was the biggest mistake of her life. But before I explain how to use these 3 simple techniques, I need to tell you something about your breakup that you might hate me for. Whether you saw it coming for months or it came out of left field, the final moments of your relationship went something like this. "This isn't working," she said quietly. "I don't want to be with you anymore." It was like a punch to the gut, creating an overwhelming sense of anxiety you could barely control. With just one sentence, your world came crashing down on top of you. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but that cold, determined look in her eye confirmed that this was real. She really was breaking up with you. It was over. No matter how much you begged, how much you pleaded, or how much you apologized and promised you'd change, it made no difference, aside from making you look pathetic. It was like banging your head against a wall. And what made it even worse was she was lying to you. When she said stuff like, "I just need some time alone," or "I'm just not ready for a relationship right now," it was obvious that these were just bullshit excuses to hide the real reason why she wanted to break up. In the weeks that followed, you spent nights lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering what you could have done or said differently. You probably sent her long, rambling emails and text messages. You waited hours staring at your cell phone, praying it would eventually vibrate with the arrival of a text message or phone call from your ex. And the thought of her with another man made your stomach instantly tighten into a lead ball. No matter how hard you tried to push that horrifying image of her naked with another guy out of your mind, it haunted you night and day. At this point, like every guy in your situation, you probably can't stop wondering, what the hell happened? What did I do wrong to make her fall out of love with me? And what can I do to get her to come back to me? Well, it's simple, really. You need to use the 3 psychological techniques I mentioned earlier to stimulate your ex's brain into secreting oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone, and it's what creates all the incredibly powerful emotions you feel when you're madly in love. When you and your girlfriend were still in that magical phase early in your relationship, when you spent day and night together, barely able to keep your hands off one another for 5 minutes, oxytocin was the trigger that caused those feelings. The more oxytocin the brain produces, the stronger these feelings become. When a woman's brain is pumping out oxytocin at a mile a minute, No amount of willpower or self-restraint can keep these incredibly powerful emotions from overwhelming her. Scientists have known for years that when it comes to love and sexual attraction, humans are slaves to our biochemistry. How does this help you? Well, everything you've been doing so far, the love notes, the flowers you sent her, the countless texts apologizing, all of that was speaking to the rational side of your ex's brain, the brain's left side. But no amount of logic or rational reasoning is going to compel your ex to be attracted to you again. What you actually need to do is engage with the emotional center of her brain, the right side of her brain, because this is where the emotional control center is located. And this is the half of her brain that will go into overdrive when oxytocin is pulsing through her entire body. And once you've tapped into the right side of her brain, you'll be able to tap into her primal instincts, fire up her sex drive, and mold the image of you that she has in the back of her mind. Once you use my 3-step system and have your ex's emotions going crazy, everything else is literally beyond her control. It doesn't matter what she knows is the right thing to do, and it doesn't matter what her friends and family are saying to her. She'll be helplessly and uncontrollably attracted to you, and only you. I call this 3-step system my 3R system: recovery, rekindling, and reattraction. In the recovery phase, I'll teach you how to remold your ex's mental image of you. Without any real work on your part, you'll feed her a constant stream of vivid, passionate, positive memories and force her to relive them again and again. You'll suppress her negative memories and make her focus on the intimate experiences she enjoyed when your relationship was still in that magical phase. Phase 2, the rekindling phase, is where oxytocin comes into play. You'll learn exactly what to say to connect directly with her brain's emotional center and generate the feelings of attraction and arousal that are critical if you want to bypass her defense mechanisms and overpower her rational side. If you do this correctly, the hormones in her brain will do most of the work. The powerful emotions building up inside her will make her feel like she needs to talk to you, to be around you. In the final phase, reattraction, your ex will do most of the work. At this point, you'll be the one in total control. You'll allow her to act on the intense sexual urges that have been building up during the first 2 phases. With a little casual flirting, you'll give her the green light for intimacy, and you'll be able to give her what she's been waiting for so long. I'll teach you how to quickly turn a simple coffee date into a night of intense sexual intimacy, and she'll finally forget why she ever left you in the first place. By touching her body in the right spots and looking at her in a certain way, you'll unlock the fiery passion that's been buried so far. And when all is said and done, her brain will be chemically wired to think of you as her man. So you're probably thinking now, okay, Brad, this process is extremely powerful, and I get that, but how do I get started? Allow me to introduce what I've been working on like crazy for the past 4 years. I call this simple step-by-step system the Ex Factor Guide. This is a system that I've poured my blood, sweat, and tears into that teaches men exactly what to do, leaving no stone unturned. This comprehensive guide is my pride and joy. It's an idiot-proof program that I've been tweaking and perfecting constantly. Now, this isn't rocket science, but what I can tell you for certain is that you definitely haven't read or heard much of the stuff that I reveal in my program. Sure, maybe you've seen some of my tips regurgitated elsewhere on the internet, but most of it will be new to you. Here's a few examples. The 4-sentence clean slate email that you can copy and paste and send to your ex-girlfriend right now that will help undo any damage you've already done since the breakup. How simply not contacting your ex, like many people suggest, is totally useless and guaranteed to fail unless you set the stage first by using my alpha attraction technique. How memorizing 3 simple sentences will prepare you to take advantage of any encounter with your ex, ensuring you'll never be caught off guard or left wondering what to say. How trying to make your ex jealous is incredibly risky and likely to backfire unless you use my foolproof covert jealousy tactic. The 3 simple text messages that you can send to her right now that will tell her exactly how you feel without making you look needy and without revealing your true intentions. Do this right and she'll feel an overbearing sense of regret. Why you should almost never say sorry to your ex, even if you think you've done something wrong. How my 6 magic words will send a surge of oxytocin to rush through her body, forcing her to create a subconscious association between her memories of you and her deepest, darkest sexual fantasies. Why the nurturing instinct that all women possess gives you a way to slip past your ex's defenses and make her see you as husband material. how to create a sense of mystery that will spark your ex's curiosity to the point where she feels compelled to reach out and contact you, even if she promised herself she wouldn't. Why your ex's friends are one of your best tools that you have at your disposal, and how to get them on your side without your ex ever finding out. As I already mentioned, all this stuff has been proven effective by the thousands of guys I've worked with over the past few years. Take Jacob Durant, for example. Jacob started using my system a month ago, and last weekend he emailed me this update. Jacob says, "What's up, Brad? First of all, to be honest, man, when I watched your video, I was really skeptical because you made it sound so easy. But then I started reading the guide and saw what you were talking about. Exactly 8 days after I started using the system, my ex started replying to all my texts. That never happened before. Eventually, she began sending me longer and longer messages. Last week, she called me for the first time in 4.5 months and asked to meet for a drink after work. And then this past Wednesday, she said that she had been missing me like crazy and really thought we should be more than just friends. Holy shit, I was so happy. Never felt such an incredible sense of relief. I know I have to do things differently this time around, but yeah, I'm on top of the world right now. This might sound overdramatic, but I can honestly say that your system has changed my life. Thank you so much." And here's another voicemail I received last week from Patrick. I'd actually never talked to Patrick before he called and left this message, but as you'll hear, he started following the 3R system about 6 weeks ago and seems pretty happy with how things panned out.
Hey man, my name is Patrick Thomas up in Portland, Oregon. I just want to call just to say thanks. I just started using your program about 2 months ago. I honestly thought there was pretty much no hope for me. She said that there was pretty much no chance we'd get back together. But I think it was about after 5 weeks, I used your system when things really began to turn around for me, and we are now giving it another go. Hopefully this time I'll get it right. But anyways, I just wanted to call you and say that your stuff really worked for me, so thanks again. Bye.
Am I absolutely certain that my system will solve all your problems? Of course not. But I do know that grabbing a copy of my program will dramatically improve your odds and give you a legitimate shot at waking up next to her every morning. Listen, I know there are other similar programs out there, and some of them are okay, but there's really no other system in the world like this. I know for a fact that none of the other Get Your Ex Back guides are based on the sort of proven research and relationship science that mine is. I've done my homework. Maybe that makes me a huge geek, but I'm okay with it if it means that the program is ridiculously effective. Now let me ask you, if your ex walked up to you right now and said that she'd be willing to get back together with you, that your relationship would be stronger than ever, but said that it would cost you a bucket full of cash, how much would you be willing to fork over? $500? $1,000? $10,000? Well, surely if she's the one, then you'd run to the nearest bank and withdraw your life savings, right? But don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for your life savings. Hell, I'm not even going to ask you for $200. But ask yourself, do you really love this girl? Do you really want to get your ex back? Is she the one? If the answer to those questions is yes, if this is the girl you want to be in that rocking chair beside you 50 years down the road, then it shouldn't matter what the price is, because you really can't let her get away no matter how much it costs. Do you know how rare it is to find somebody who melts your heart the way she does? Do you know how unlikely it is that you'll ever find a woman like this again, ever? A few years from now, looking back, you might be willing to pay thousands of dollars for one more chance to get her back in your life. There's nothing worse than constantly wondering, what if? Wondering if you could have done or said something that would have made her come running back to you, eager to spend a lifetime together. Normally, my system sells for $344, and I've had hundreds of guys say that it was worth every penny. But like I said, I really want you to see for yourself how well it works, and I don't want the cost to prevent you from trying it out. Several people said I was crazy to offer the program at $129, and I told them that was still too expensive for some guys. So for a limited time, I've decided to offer the entire X Factor program, everything you see here, for just $47. Yes, that's a one-time payment of $47 in exchange for a proven system that's helped thousands of guys from around the world get exactly what they're looking for: a second chance with the girl of their dreams. The entire system, everything you need to start winning her back, is available immediately after you sign up. There's no shipping fees and no waiting around for the mailman to deliver a package. Just download the program and get going now, even if it's 2 a.m. and you're in your pajamas. It's all online, and the program can be accessed on any computer or mobile device, and you don't even have to have any computer skills to open the program components and get started. Look, I know that despite everything I've said in this video so far, you may still be skeptical. Fair enough, there's a lot of garbage for sale on the internet these days. But to prove to you that I'm not a fraud and that this program really does work extremely well, I'm going to guarantee your